Hello, Irony Ferry here. Today we are sharing facepalm moment. American politicians are banning abortion as the country exhausts its supply of baby formula, diapers and feminine hygiene products. Facepalm. The fairies got into an argument that escalated to brawling over differences in opinion. A riot followed, property was damaged, and things were burned or stolen. It's just in their nature as it is in nature. Someone disagrees, and laws get reversed, crowds are fired upon, countries wage war, and fuel prices increase. Having written the HU Manifesto, which remains unpublished, our consensus on humanity indicates people are the planet's apex parasite, so should extraterrestrial life arrive on Earth, think Independence Day without the epic speech or happy ending. Unwavering, we doggedly pursue our ridiculous quest to preserve humanity as determined as ever to conquer all as the new supreme overlords. That's not the manifest, but the fairies believe it, so roll with that. An open letter to the people of South Africa. So what now? The trending hashtag in the social consciousness of 2022, South Africans without a satisfactory answer. Before we rabble over the poor state of affairs our country is failing to overcome, I'd like to address the people, ordinary citizens burdened with the woes of a nation succumbed to the slow cancerous decay of unilateral democracy a quarter of a century revealed. What happened to you? Everyone simply surrendered, gave up the fight, and rolled over to quietly die without dignity. We fought oppression and injustice and, mostly, social division to stand as a country united, if only for a short time before tumbling back into our old habits. It's not impossible to overcome the discrimination of the past should we choose to learn from it and move forward together, leaving all that racially motivated hatred in the history books. We all want the same thing, we all face the same challenges in order to change, but South Africa is a failing state because everyone stopped giving a shit and let bad decision making go unchecked and unchallenged. What is it going to take to wake you up and pull your head out of your ass to motivate you into action? Good people, genuine fucking people are losing their passion for a country with huge potential because the most South Africans don't care. I'm telling all of you, the ability to change things for the better is there. Piss poor education, collapsing government infrastructure, depleted economy are scary things, but they are not impossible to better. I believe attitude needs changing. Get out of the past, let it go, and move forward. Take ownership of your decisions. We need to work together to make South Africa prosper. Ask questions, basic fucking questions about everything. If you're unsure, there is no reason to remain ignorant. Drop the attitude of personal self-preservation. You're an idiot to believe there is no problem with the current state of the nation, and you're an even bigger idiot to blame someone else. With a bit of focus we can change for the better. The government has lied to everyone. Violent protests won't change that. Take the fight to Parliament. These Muppets work for us, the people, and we need to speak up. Voice our objections as a nation united, and tell every MP to get their shit together or to get the fuck out, because we deserve better leadership. Half-witted individuals have dangerously driven the entire country to the brink of failure with their half-ass ideology. Evaluate what is important, what takes priority, and plan from there. Education takes priority, education is important, education needs a plan. Everything starts with education, everything builds upon that foundation, starting with English. Speak in English, write in English, think in English, and get better at it. Not forsaking the diversity of language we have, but I'm telling you, English is the global default language. We'll officially welcome the aliens to Earth in English. Know things by learning things, because knowledge exercises the brain just like training at a gym exercises your muscles. Continue to rage against the machine, but your protest needs guidance, instead of violence. Wanton destruction doesn't resolve your problem, it sets your objective back. Fight the power by taking the fight to them. Bring your protest right to their doorstep. Face them. I understand the monumental task ahead for this change to happen, but considering the current state of hatred, ignorance and intolerance, it plagues everyone, but we can change. All we need is a decent plan, a plan that will grow our country from strength to strength. We had such a plan in 1994, and it was working until 2003 when everyone said fuck the plan, and started doing their own thing, reaching the current situation that I consider a huge insult to all those great men and women who defied the persecution of the past to walk South Africa into freedom. Everyone forgot their history. History is important. It's the documented account of our predecessors we learn from, gain insight, and should be motivated not to repeat the same mistakes. The most comprehensive source of history is printed in books. The digital equivalent has been whittled away to millennial garble rot. Put in the effort to learn. Libraries, bookstores, news agents, charity shops. Let this be your quest for knowledge. Drop your opinions, they are outdated. Ridicule quickly turns into sarcasm. Sarcasm is not taken seriously. All the armchair criticism sounds like a schoolyard sizing up of whose imaginary friends are better. Enough cock banter. Communication, direct. Take your complaints to the people you're complaining about. Call them out without in real time. Stay off social media. It's the option pulpit of distraction that nullifies the severity of your complaining. There is some good left if people exercise a little compromise. My recent experience with a government institution was positive and of a fair standard of practice. I left satisfied, but still there were a few naysayers sharing their criticism. Come on people, take the small victories. The more positive feedback we share can spread the improvement of service. The success is still in the minority, let's grow that number. So what now? Discontinue the love/hate relationship. We either move forward or we move back. The choice I leave to you when in Dodge. The standing practice of non-African descendants and the African continent is the eventual exodus out of Africa. All the good stories document this mass exit. From Tolkien to Moses, people want to get out of Dodge one way or another. Here's the thing, some folks want to stay and live out their own out of Africa story. These people are neither Karen Blixen Feinek nor thinking rationally. The truth is Africa is not going to change. You can't change it. You can attempt to adapt and survive, but inevitably Africa claims it all, despite Meryl Streep's performance. It's the downward spiral unique to the continent, seen nowhere else in the developing third world, and completely incorrect hypothesis on shared common human ancestry. Let's clarify. We share a common human ancestry, but it doesn't originate from Africa. We have yet to definitively determine the origin of our shared common human ancestry. We may never discover our shared common human ancestry, we may have incorrectly classified it already, but you continue to question it. I'm not debating Darwinism here, but if I were, and I only mention this for the relevance of thought, if Africa is 0000 for all mankind, why then is the civilized world as far from Africa as geographically possible? If you don't like, then leave, gladly, but speaking as a current resident of Africa, it's easier to smuggle weapons-grade plutonium out of North Korea than successful immigration, but not impossible to accomplish. The payment is key. Much like Charon crossing souls over the river Styx, so is process for leaving Africa. Sometimes, as with Moses, you might pay it in blood, but let's not push it to the extreme just yet. I know people who left and stayed gone, I know people who left and returned, and I know people trying to get out. As with the moral of those stories, exodus requires sacrifice, and whether one holds the necessary fortitude to proceed, without unloading a shit pile of excuses instead. Having received divine guidance from the Green Fairy, welcome everyone to our online cult. Please surrender your virtual possessions, leave a life of social media behind you, and pursue personal fulfillment by searching for answers Google cannot provide. Most assured you have questions. Questions we're not about to answer. Let's get this out there. We do not acknowledge any religious doctrine because the philosophy is impractical, rigid, and fictional. We acknowledge science because practical application has developed our understanding of the universe and our place in it. We are tolerant of personal religious freedoms as they serve individuals for the better in their personal space. We oppose the mentality of asshole institutions using religion to expand their cult and profit off the desperate. That aspect of cult methodology we oppose. We want to believe in extraterrestrial life exists in the universe because humanity is no longer intelligent, but we do not claim celestial divinity. We condone freedom of choice. We are pro-choice. We condemn delusional thinking. Everyone has an opinion, but that doesn't make it dogma. We are dedicated to pursuing knowledge, not following our weird logic. Think survival. The modern age is all rage, and the survival rate is declining. Accept it. Be enough. Be you without the classification of acronym. Go wherever life takes you. It's only logical. Streaming, direct-to-video. Jack Dawson has to be the unluckiest tragic hero to stumble from the mind of James Cameron. The poor chap, a charismatic underdog, gets it from everyone including Rose. His mates tout his chances of success after the card game, so forewarned, but stupidly Jack boards the ship. The boat sank, Jack died, and our hearts will go on, but why did Jack do it? Thanks to streaming we shall never know. Strongly opposing the stream because a long time ago in a blockbuster video far away, a rental copy of Titanic containing bonus material answered my burning questions about Jack, Rose, the ship, and whatever else the director's commentary spoke about. We have yet to find such things on Netflix or any other streaming service. determined to oppose everything millennial to a cancel by standing against for the exact reason the mighty Tom Cruise insisted Top Gun Roman 2 premiered in theaters before going direct to video, and by video we mean streaming service, the cool experience. Cinema will never be replaced because, despite our best efforts, home entertainment systems are a shitty experience for watching blockbusters. Home video, home entertainment, direct to video does scream an awesome fucking experience. DTV releases back in the day were subpar films a studio could not bank on a box office payday, so the titles were dumped on video store shelves for rental. Hey Marvel, your MCU offerings are direct to video. DVD titles are a pain in the ass, they take up space, require an external player, they scratch and get dirty, and they don't work on smartphones. Well fucking nah, that's the point. Nobody enjoys watching Maverick in a dogfight, or Thor punching someone in ultra high definition 7/10-inch streaming to their smart device. An audience motivated to experience their cinematic entertainment rather than stare at a tiny screen are the hardcore film fans determined to enjoy good storylines with minimal green screen, so when they walk out of the cinema asking how in the hell, instead of shouting WIF like all the haters posting reviews on YouTube. Keep cinemas open, go to Bend, Oregon to experience the last blockbuster store. Spoiler alert, Jack dies, the ship sinks, and nobody has a Merry Xmas.